Hopefully, I think that may or may not have worked. Hopefully, we are now recording our Inspirational Speaker Spring Contest 2021. Starting with Tall Tales, our first contestant today is Mike Everson. Mike Everson, cold and running. Cold and running, Mike Everson.
Just want to make sure it's on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's December 19th, 2020. The temperature outside is 15 degrees. And it's time for me to get up and go run. It's 3:50 in the morning. My goal is to go to the garage, get into my running clothes, jump into my freezing car, drive a half a block down the road, pick up my neighbor Mike, and we will drive to Manitou Springs for our adventure. So I get into my shorts, I get into my long sleeve shirt, I put my shoes and socks on, I put my gloves on, I put some hand warmers inside those gloves, and I put on my buff, which is a hat. I drive down the street and pick up Mike. We drive to Manitou, not knowing what we were going to do. On the way to Manitou, Mike says to me, "Hey, my car's at my mechanic's house in Cascade. Let's say we run to Cascade from Manitou." And I thought, just the trails to do it on. We get out of the car in Manitou Springs. It's 12 degrees outside. Yes, I'm in my shorts. We run to the incline to get warmed up. We climb the incline, and as we climb the incline, we encounter a few people that I know. At the top of the incline in December is a Christmas tree. And on that Christmas tree are lights that are lit and many ornaments that people have brought up throughout the month. It looks fantastic. Well, we get to the top of the incline, we decide the best way to get to where we want to go is to go over Mount Manitou. So we climb even higher. We go over Mount Manitou. The snow is getting deeper, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. We run down the other side of Mount Manitou to Longs Ranch Road. We're breaking trail the whole way. There's no footprints, just ours. We get to the turnoff called Hurricane Canyon. And Hurricane Canyon is a deep canyon on the other side of between Manitou and Cascade. We're running in the dark. We have headlights on, but it's dark. It's almost the solstice. And so we are slipping and falling and losing the trail constantly. It's taking forever. And I'm getting more and more angry, and I'm cussing my brains out because I can't stand falling in the snow when I'm in my shorts. We get to a point that I'm pretty sure is the creek. And I yell out to Mike, I say, "Hey, we're almost to the creek." And he says, "What creek? I don't remember there being a creek." At that point, I felt the ice below me crack and I fell in. It was 10 degrees in this canyon, and I had just fallen into a creek full of water. My hands were soaked, my feet were soaked, my legs were soaked. I was livid. We were 4 miles from either one of our cars. So we trudged on. We finally get to Heiser Trail as the sun starts to rise. The temperature is probably 20 degrees now, but it feels like it's 100. I'm so glad to see the sun. We have 1 more mile of climbing to do before we get to go down into Cascade, and we make that climb in about 20 minutes. Finally, my hands are warming up. I stop to take a few pictures. I'm feeling relieved, and we got 2 miles of downhill to go. We run the 2 miles down. Mike runs ahead of me. He gets his car, heats it up because he knows I'm freezing. I jump in the car. That was the adventure that led to this poem. It was the week before Christmas and time for a run. And the one that we chose was not very fun. We ran up the incline to check out the tree. We felt like this was the place we should be. When climbing the incline, we ran right past Fred, not knowing the torment we're going to dread. Mike in his leggings and me in my buff, we got to the summit, but that's not enough. We climbed higher and higher to Mount Manitou. We thought that this was the thing we should do. Excuse me. We hiked through the forest and down Longs Ranch Road, breaking the trail from when it had snowed. We took the right turn and down Hurricane Canyon, me and my patient running companion. We slipped and we fell more times than I like. I fell 10 times more than did my friend Mike. We got to the creek and I tried to be quick, but it turns out the ice wasn't thick. And I got my shoes dirty and then they got wet. Do you think I was cussing? On that you can bet. An S word, an F-bomb, a son of a B. It's like I am running and I can't even see. It's to the top of the Heiser, to the top of the hill, to the top of Heiser. The heat of the sun is a great tranquilizer. The last 2 miles, we cruise without worry. The trail is snow covered, we don't have to hurry. We arrive at the town at the edge of Cascade. Merry Christmas to all, and for me, some first aid. Madam Toastmaster.
Mr. Timer, can you please set 1 minute on the clock so the judges can work on their ballots, and we will allow the judges some silence while they do their work. Thank you, Mr. Timer. Audience and judges, please prepare yourselves for our next speaker today, Janet Sellers. Janet Sellers, snow training. Get my drift? Get my drift? Janet Sellers.
Am I on? I'm trying to find the screen.
You are on, ma'am.
Well, I'm sorry I'm late to the meeting. I have a really good excuse. It wasn't snowing when I left. I got my car and I went to drive. Now I had already been to my exercise class, so I was feeling really strong. Driving, when suddenly a snow squall started. I wasn't sure what to do. Can I see anything? I couldn't see through the windshield. I decided to turn around and drive home. Boy, is it hard to see. I'm glad the kids are, and I'm wondering how am I going to get home? I'm in this old truck, driving along. Finally, I get to my street. I turn. There we are. I can see my house. Oh boy, this is scary. You guys, have you ever driven a rear-wheel drive truck in a snow blizzard? You go one way and then the other. You go one way and then the other, one way and then the other. Finally, I get to my driveway. And I'm driving in, and all of a sudden the snow squall stops. And I can see, because the sun is out, I can see my house. And I drive up the driveway, and the wind has blown away all the snow from the driveway so I can get through. But it blew it up the side of the house. We have 20 feet of snow up the side of the house, and I look up to the top. And what do I see? But two kids on the top of the roof building snowmen. This, I'm telling you, this is a true story. I get out of the car and I say, "You guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" "We're playing." "I know, but I need you to get back in the house. It's really dangerous up there." "Yeah, but we're gonna sled down." No, not on the roof, not on the roof. You know, it's 20 feet of snow out here. 20 feet. 20. That's 40 shoes worth of snow. "Mom, there's no reason to be upset. We're just playing on the roof, building snowmen." "Why didn't you build it downstairs, down on the ground?" "We couldn't get there. We can't get out the door." Oh, great. How am I going to get these kids back in the house to safety? Well, I'm just going to have to figure something out. Here's the thing. You came out that window, right? So go back carefully along the roof and go back inside. We don't need to go inside. We're having fun out here. You know what? I'm the mom. And I said, go back in the house or else. We don't have to. We have a friend out here. And there was a huge shadow came over the house and came over me. We're doing our exercises. We're doing our exercises. And I looked up, and what did I see? But the abdominal snowman. Yes, he's the one that put them up to it. He put them up to getting on the roof. I see where you're going with this, abdominal snowman. And by golly, you're not getting away with it. The abdominal snowman answered, "No reason to be upset, Mom. The kids can jump off and I'll catch them." Oh boy, I did not want my kids practicing jumping off the roof. But there we were, kids on the roof, no way to get down safely, and the abdominal snowman ready to catch my kids, which I couldn't do. I tried one more time. I said, "You know, you guys, I have the chocolate milk and I have the cocoa, and we can go in and get warm with cocoa. What are your thoughts?" "We want to jump around with the abdominal snowman." So Danny got out and Claire got out to the edge. The abdominal snowman put out his huge hands to catch them. Danny jumped first, boom, right into his hands, and he put him down. Claire jumped second, boom, into his hands, and they jumped down. Okay, you guys, we're going in the house. You, abdominal snowman, are going home. You are not invited to this. "Well, there's no reason to be upset," he said, but he went on home. We went in the house, we had our cocoa, and I can tell you this, as a mom and now a grandmother, not easy being a parent. It's apparently a very hard job, but I'll tell you something else. It's no place like home. Madam Toastmaster.
Mr. Timer, there's no need to put any time on the clock because the judges may now have as much time as they need to complete their ballots for the Tall Tales contest. If they will just let me know when they're done. We will all sit here and contemplate the meaning of life while we wait to start the International Speech Contest.
It's hot in that hat. Do we get to watch that? I think I'm talking.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience in our brief intermission. We will be ready to start the International Speech Contest momentarily when our timer returns to us. Yay! I hope everybody is ready and everybody is pumped for the International Speech Contest today, because the winner of the International Speech Contest not only could move forward to area, division, and district with the International Speech Contest, but they can move all the way to the true international contest with the World Championship of Public Speaking, which is occurring this summer. We have one contestant today for International Speech Contest. So our first speaker today is Ms. Jamia Wells Palmer. Please prepare yourselves to help me welcome Mimi the Motivator. Jamia Wells Palmer, the story behind the glory. The story behind the glory, Jamia Wells Palmer.
Fellow Toastmasters, I need your help. I've decided to write a book, and I need help with the title. The book is going to be about this cute little businesswoman who moves to Colorado Springs and becomes the international speaking champion of the world and an international media mogul. So I'm going to share the story with you, and then you tell me what you think the title should be. Did you know that I was homeless when I first started coming to Toastmasters? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? When I think about it now, like, wow, I was really homeless and didn't even really realize it, I think, at the time. I think I just was trying to keep my head above water. But how did this come about is probably what you're wondering. So I came to Colorado Springs as a business consultant working on this big deal. We had been working with these guys over the phone and through the internet for months. And now the time had come for us to come to Colorado Springs. But I didn't want to come for two reasons. My business partner was my ex-boyfriend that I was trying to get rid of. And I just thought that Colorado Springs was going to be too cold for me. Luckily, it's not, and I love the weather. But we were here for a couple of months, and these guys never paid us $1. We had to pay for hotel rooms for over a month. I don't know if you know how expensive it is to stay in a hotel for just a night or for a weekend. But for a whole month or two, it was quite expensive. We ran out of money. So what they ended up doing is they had just rented this big, huge house. And the whole bottom portion of the house was vacant. And it had like 2 or 3 bedrooms down there, the whole setup. So it was like, okay. So they're like, yeah, we promise we're going to make this next deal and we'll get you paid and get you out of here, da, da, da. But we really want you to work on this other project too while you're here. It was like a whole scam. They were con artists. I figured it out pretty quickly, but I ran out of money and didn't have anywhere to go. And I'm just waiting on them to pay me. So they never paid us. And my business partner / ex-boo robbed them for $10,000 and left me. So now I'm in Colorado Springs with nobody and no money. But then it gets worse. It gets kind of better. Like the universe sends me this guy that was kind of like Shabby. We call him Shaggy because he looked like Shaggy off of Scooby-Doo. Totally not my type, but was a godsend. So I started hanging out with him a little bit. We'd go hang out, we'd go do laundry. So we'd do laundry and we went to the movie theater. And everything that I owned was inside this big old huge long Nike duffel bag. And then my backpack, which you always know I have a backpack, had my brand new MacBook Air, had a point and click camera. Luckily it didn't have my big DSLR camera, but it had my passport. I had been writing a book and had 7 chapters done. Gone. I was devastated. I had nothing, no clothing, nothing. I literally had to start from scratch with nothing right here in a no man's land as far as I was concerned. So I ended up in this little fugly trailer. And I just went and measured the room. The room was 9 by 5 feet. Now, I don't know if you can get a visual of what that is. To me, that's a walk-in closet. But me and this guy shared this little walk-in closet of a room. I called it the cocoon. And it's where Mimi the Motivator was born. How many of you remember being at WTF is Toastmasters at Whistle Pig? I planned this great event. It was awesome. We had a great turnout. I made fresh hummus and everything. But what a lot of people didn't know is that I took 3 buses over an hour and a half's time to get there. This place that's only 10 minutes from my house, but it was the only way that I could get there. And not only did I do all this, I get off the bus and then I walk a couple blocks to the grocery store and I get some fresh vegetables, and inside my bag, I got a cutting board and a nice little display plate. And then I walk over to the Whistle Pig and I cut the vegetables and the apples up and presented it all just nice. I thought I was a caterer or something, I'm not sure, but it was great. That day, I realized that this thing that I had been praying and wishing for called perseverance had finally shown up. It was there. It even led me to starting to get high on motivation. And that wasn't easy either. Get High on Motivation was originally supposed to be a local radio show. I did all the marketing. And then on launch day, we were locked out of the studio. Me and the producer just looking stupid. We waited for about 5 or 10 minutes. No one showed up and no one ever let us in. I looked at him and said, this will never happen to me again. I went and bought me a $150 used MacBook from off of eBay, bought me this nice fancy microphone and all this stuff, and I started a podcast. And then about a couple of weeks later, my great engineer who did all the computer stuff moved to Oregon. So now I'm this one-woman army. I'm the host. I got to do the recording. I got to do the editing, and I'm the PR girl too. Doing all of this. But now I have been aired in over 127 countries. I've gotten over 4,000 downloads over the last 30 days. I'm telling you all of this because I want people to walk away with the story of it doesn't matter where you've been or what happened to you. That we need all of our yesterdays for today. And that you need to share your story. Sharing the story is allowing me to heal and really allowing me to move past that point in my life. It's allowing me to forgive the people who were involved. It's allowed me to forgive myself. So I want to invite other people to do the same by writing this book. So tell me, what should I write the book? What should it be called? Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, contestants. Thank you, each and every one of you. The judges may have all the time they need to complete their ballots. And then we will start the interviews. Okay. Can I ask everyone in the audience to put their cameras back on for a couple of minutes? Let's give all of our contestants a huge round of applause, because that is something that is totally missing from these Zoom contests. In a live situation, you hear the thunderous applause and people cheer, they make noises. So congratulations again, contestants. Very exciting that you stepped outside of whatever box or duffel bag it is you walked into this contest with today. It is now time for the contestant interviews, where we ask people that we already know things that we might already know about them. Prepare yourself. At the area level and division level, you're going to hear this. How long ago did you join Toastmasters? What club or clubs are you a member of? Why did you join? In that spirit, we'll start with the Tall Tales contestants. Mr. Mike Everson, I see on your contestant profile that what inspires you most is people who are determined to finish what they start. Can you tell us just a little blip about that?
Well, I could relate it to what Mimi just spoke about 5 minutes ago. Finish what you start. Don't let the obstacles get in your way. And I've had some turmoil in my life. I don't think it's been anything like being homeless or anything, but the things that I admire in people are things that the obstacles that people see in their way. I feel like you have a couple of choices. The first one is to let it stay in your way, make it a barrier for something where you just can't get past it, you won't achieve anything more, or you try to figure out a way to get around or over it. And if you can figure out the way to get around or over it, you're going to be better off. You'll probably be better off in so many ways: spiritually, physically, financially. Just it's better to get over those barriers than to let them be an impediment to your success or your progress. And listening to Mimi's speech today, I feel like that's what's admirable, is something like that. It's get through it, no matter what. Back to you.
I was trying to get the handshake over there, because what we would do now is I would shake your hand with one hand and I would hand you the certificate for participating today with the other hand. And then we'd smile. Our next contestant that we are going to interview today is Ms. Janet Sellers. Let me get you off of mute.
There's two of.
There you go. Oh, sorry. Got you the wrong one. That's on me.
Oh,
Does that sound right?
Can you hear
Sounds
me?
right. Yep,
Okay.
we can hear you. If you can hear us, we've got a winner.
I got two things going on. So hopefully you can see me and hear me.
We can see you, we can hear you. And I would like to ask you about your favorite quote that you named on your contestant profile. You say, art, you have to draw a line somewhere. Would you like to expand on that at all?
I can. What I would like to say, and you see the hands on there. I've always worked with all kinds of people in art. My career started in Japan, and I didn't think I was an artist because I wasn't famous, and I didn't think that I would get very far. But I worked at a museum, and the head of the museum loved my paintings. I would make him little cards or little things for a gift, and he would love them. And I thought, oh, he's just being nice, but he really meant it. And I came home from Japan, got my degree in Japanese and German and English and Mandarin and a bunch of stuff, thinking I'm going to be an interpreter to save the world. I didn't like that. I liked making art. So I went back to doing some art. That's where I drew the line. I'm not going to do other stuff. I'm going to make art. So I did. I made a mural in Los Angeles with gang youth, pretty tough guys. I call them my little felons. They were probably 13 to 21. Most of them were parents already. including the 14-year-olds. And we made a 500-foot mural together. And the interesting thing about that was when I drew a line in the sand, they didn't want to do any work. They wanted to goof off. And I said, we've got the mayor of Los Angeles, the LA Times, and several other newspapers coming for this finish of this dedication of the mural. And we only have 6 weeks left to go. You guys have goofed around all this time. I don't care what you guys do today. I'm painting, and I'm going to paint until this thing is done. If it takes me 24 hours a day. And I began to work very hard. I was not being nice. They said, and what was interesting was I drew that line because that's who I really was. I was trying to be nice the whole first part. And I said, I don't care what you do. I already taught you everything. Get moving or get out. And I don't care if your parole officer comes in here and finds out that you're not here, or that you're sitting on your butt. I'm moving. And every single one of those kids grabbed a can of paint and got to work. And we got the mural done by the time the mayor of Los Angeles, the mayor of how many million people? There's 12 million people in LA County. And I thought, that's it. They were not nice kids, and they did not want me being nice. And when I was nice, they said, are you a nun? I said, no, I'm just a regular person. And I was the last man standing. The people who were supposed to be painting the mural with them quit. Those kids are nasty. They did not want anything to do with it. And I got to work the next day as a volunteer, and they said, would you take this over? And I thought, okay, I guess I will. We didn't end up friends. We didn't end up liking each other, but we worked together. And those kids worked their butts off because I was working my butt off. And I realized they just needed somebody in motion, and they could go on that slipstream and get things done. So I decided that when it was necessary, I would have to draw the line. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thanks, Janet. Okay, let's practice this hand.
Wait,
And
there.
Thank you.
What camera am I using?
I was looking at the one that you're on. So there we go. And then the certificate, that worked.
Oh, there it is. Hello.
And then our international speech contestant today, Mimi the Motivator. I'm intrigued. Are you writing a book for real? Are you picking up a new medium? Tell us more about that. A little more, not a lot more. Save a little suspense.
Well, it's something that I have considered over the years, just because I feel like if I told the story, the real story, and told all the details, I don't think anybody would believe it. So I said, yeah, I'm definitely writing this as a fiction book. But I am writing a book that is a 40-day transformation, like life transformation book, which is what I was originally working on when I first moved here. Like I said, I had 7 chapters written like this and typed, but had access to neither one. Never thought about the whole iCloud thing. And what is ironic, my computer always wanted to save to the iCloud. And I'd be like, no, I don't even know what the iCloud is, you know? And so didn't save it to the iCloud. One of the biggest regrets that I have. So from now on, like I'm always backing stuff up now and saving it in multiple ways and spaces just so that doesn't happen to me again. But yes, I am going to write this book at some point. It's not at the top of my list, this particular book, but it's on my to-do list.
Thank you. Okay, handshake goes over here, certificate goes over here. And I'm wondering, as I always do wonder in a meeting, if any suspense is eating anybody up alive in any way, or should we just cut the meeting off now and go home? I've got a salad waiting for me. I could get to that. No, we are here to announce the winners, and we'll start with Tall Tales. Does anybody have any kind of drum roll? That doesn't look right in front of a camera. Nonetheless, second place, Tall Tales contest, Mike Everson.
Wow.
And Mike, I do have a certificate for you. I just don't have it to put up on the screen right now. So I'll email it to you so that you can take a picture of it and send it to us to put up on our website. First place in our Tall Tales contest today is Ms. Janet Sellers, the queen of everything. Janet, I also have a certificate for you, which I will also email to you, which then you can maybe either print out, or if you don't have a printer, you could keep the picture of it up on your tablet or your phone and get a screenshot of yourself holding it, because we're going to put this stuff up on our website. Congratulations to both
I
of
was
you.
hoping Mike would win. I didn't want to go any further.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You do have to go further. You both do, because it's a weird little detail, but we have a smaller area. There are less than 5 clubs in our area. So first and second place are both going to the area contest at the crack of early on a Saturday morning. Yay, I'm so excited for both of
Is
you.
it by Zoom?
You'll be Zooming, yes, yes, you have to Zoom. So yes, you can Zoom.
Good.
Next, not only the winner for Inspirational Speakers International Speech Contest, but I truly believe we will be seeing her on whatever the Zoom equivalent is of a gigantic stage in August for the World Championship of Public Speaking. Jamia Willis-Palmer, Mimi the Motivator.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of all of you guys. I also have a certificate for you, which will be emailed to you, and you can take a picture of yourself with it. There is paperwork that I'm going to forward on to our area director, and if he is not in touch with the 3 of you, kind of soon, because it's only a little bit over a week, that area contest, I will help you get in touch with him so that you know where you need to be and when you need to be there, so that you can keep chugging along and move from area to the division contest, which is happening on March 13th. One more round of applause, please, for absolutely everybody who showed up today, because each and every single one of you played an important role in making this thing happen. Thank you all. I am going to stop recording now, and I will get the recording out to everybody.